Okay, guys. So this is lesson 1. Okay.
Are you recording this?
Yes, into Python coding. Okay, not just Python but general coding. Okay. So uh, you know that Google was started with just 3 people or 2 or 3 people in their garage. That's how they became a big company. And Facebook was like Mark Zuckerberg. He just started a couple of people, and look how big it is. So anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Nowadays, all the resources are available on the web. Anybody can learn anything. So there's really no excuse. Say that you cannot learn, or I didn't have this privilege or whatever. So everything is there, and I'm going to teach you guys from step by step everything that you need to know to become a professional programmer. Okay, because that's what I do. That's that's what I do for a living. So I know how it's done. Okay, but I don't have the resources. I'm just myself. But you guys have the opportunity where you can put your mind together, help each other to create something big. Okay, um, so you just have to help each other. This is not a competition, right? So we're going to learn something, and you can think of this as a tool in your life that's going to help you, okay, to solve real world problems. So let me share my screen. Vaishnav, why does it say host disabled?
What?
I need to share my screen.
There. That should work.
Okay.
Can you share?
Yeah, I'm sharing it now. Okay. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about how computers work. Okay, I'm just going to go to the Scratchpad. So computer, if you can think about a computer, it has 3 components, right? So one is the CPU, okay, which is like the brain. The other is the memory. Okay, and this memory is actually 2 kinds of memory. One is called the volatile memory or random access memory. Okay, that is a kind of memory where it's only it only remembers things when the computer is on. If you turn off the computer, all that's in the memory is wiped out. It's gone. Okay. And then there's another kind of memory. That's a memory where even if you shut down the computer remembers. Okay. So that's usually written to a disk drive. Okay, that's called a hard drive. Usually say hard drive. So this is the disk. Okay. So memory and disk. So what the CPU does is that it 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 takes stuff from memory and does something with that data, processes it, and writes it back. And at the same time, it might decide, okay, I might need to write it back to the disk. So in order to keep it, so if you shut down the computer and restart, you will get that information back. Okay, but the memory is fast. The disk is not as fast as memory, relatively speaking. Okay. Now, what is a programming language? Programming language is basically a set of instructions, right? You give it to the computer, so the computer can execute those instructions that you give it. Okay, so the instructions are given as a computer program written in a programming language. So we're going to be focusing on Python. Okay, so now that's okay. So that's basically the 3 things that you really need to know. Okay, CPU, memory, and disk. There are more stuff, but for now this is all we need to know. So another thing is, so if you want to model something, everything that you know can be modeled as a function. A function is nothing more than a black box. Okay. So what does that mean by that is that you give something, right? It's called the input. So this is a function. It's just a black box. You don't know what it is for now, but you just give something to it and it's going to give you something back. Okay, that's what a function is. So a simple function could be, so basically everything in the world, or everything that we know, can be modeled using this thing, this simple concept called function. You give something in and you get something out. Okay, does that make sense? No, it doesn't, right? For now it won't make any sense, but you can trust me that everything in computer language, or the instructions that we give it to the computer, we create functions. Okay, and functions takes input and it produces some output. For example, if you think about your game, right, the game gets input as your mouse click or your keyboard click, right? That gets translated and the function, it goes into the function or the program, and it's going to determine what the outcome should be based on what you clicked and what time. Okay, so those are the inputs, and the output could be, your character is moving, or a character is, slashing its weapon, shooting, or it's determined by the function. So input is your actions and output is the result of your input. Okay, and so this is basically a simple function. But the function, what is inside the function is what you're going to write. And the functions can contain other functions, right? So let's say we're looking inside of the function. The inside of the function can have many functions. Like, so it could take, so this is your first initial result, right? It could do something with it and it could produce some output, right? And that output can be fed into another function, this thing, right? And so on and so forth. I need a better software. So this black box, this function above, could contain multiple functions. Okay, and so does that make sense, right? So it could have many functions that's doing all these things. Like one functions could be calculating your character position. The other function could be calculating your like your weapons, how much bullets you have or something, right? A lot of things are working together to produce the final output that you see on the screen. Okay, so any questions so far? What a function is? Nia, you understand?
Think so.
Okay, good. Krishna?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So now so everything that you're going to be doing is coming up with these little functions that's going to do something. Okay, um, it's going to start with very basic one, and slowly you write your entire program using thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of functions that's going to do this input and output. Okay, so first we need to install an editor for writing our programs. Okay, I already installed it on Vaishna's and Inia's, so this is for you, Velon and Krishna. So Velon, what do you have? You have Windows?
Yeah, we both have Windows.
Okay, okay, so it's going to be a little different, but it's going to be same. So I haven't installed the editor that we need to code in Python, so we're going to go through that right now. Okay, so first we need to get Python first. Okay, so go to Python, just search Python on Google. So it says welcome to python.org. Click on that. Are you there?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I didn't click that one. Where's what? Oh yeah, I found it.
It should be python.org. Okay.
Yeah, we found it.
Okay, and then you click on or you hover over downloads, and you should see something for Windows, but it should be Python 3.9.1, whatever.
Okay,
Do you
we
see
have the
that?
same one.
Krishna, do you see that? Inia, you don't have to do this. Okay, I already done this for you. Okay, Vaishna. Krishna, do you see it?
Krishna. Yeah, download 3.9.1.
Yeah, just click on it, and it should start downloading, right? And yours probably is an exe or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you downloaded it?
Yeah, it's starting right now.
Okay, so just click on that thing, and you should see some screens here. Continue, right? Continue, agree to the license. Okay, don't click anything else, just go with the defaults. Okay, continue, and finally it'll say install. You just install. Okay, is it installing?
For us, it's just, for me, it's just initializing. I don't know. Krishna's is working.
Okay, maybe.
Oh, now it's working. It's working for both of us.
What do I press after?
Just wait for it to download, and then click close, and then now you can open it. I think. Yeah, we have it downloaded. Search it in the taskbar. We have it opened. Oh, I have it opened.
Okay, so you just go through the prompts, just select the defaults. Okay,
We didn't have any prompts.
can you share the screen? What are you seeing?
Back screen with the coding part. Do you see it?
No, let me stop my share. Maybe that's why I don't see it. Okay.
Wait, let me try again. Python. Now do you see it?
Oh, okay. Just exit out of this. Just exit. Type in exit and start bracket, close bracket.
Wait, what? Open from Python? Using it?
No, can you share the screen? I can't see what you're doing.
Oh, Python? You want me to? Okay, I have it shared.
Okay, just type exit. Open bracket, close bracket. Hit enter. Yeah. No. Enter in the sense that you hit return.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just exits, right? So you went through the prompts. You installed it, right? You installed. Krishna, have you done that same thing?
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Okay. So now what you need to do is on the left, go to start menu, right? You see the search bar on the left?
Yeah.
Okay. in that search bar, type in CMD and hit enter.
Command prompt.
Yeah, command prompt.
Okay.
Can you share what I want to see what you're seeing? Can you help, Krishna?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just says the exact same thing except it says users Krishna.
Okay. So in here, type in Python.
Without anything?
Yeah, just type Python. Yeah, hit enter. Okay, so you have it installed. Okay, so that's what we need. So right now, so Krishna should see the same thing.
What?
Inia,
Why you?
can you go to the command prompt, like I said, on the top, on the bottom left?
You have to click enter after Python. Wait, what happens if nothing happens and it just enters? Does that mean my Krishna doesn't have it installed?
Krishna didn't install it, I think, properly.
Krishna, share your screen.
You have to stop sharing.
Oh yeah.
This one.
You showed the wrong one.
No. Oh, this is happening. Oh, okay.
I don't know why that's happening. I downloaded it fine.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just
That's 3.9. That's it.
no, just cancel that one. That's different. Okay,
Krishna, that's a wrong Python.
That's the Windows trying to install it. We don't want that. So Krishna, can you share it? I want to see what you're doing. I'll tell you exactly.
Share your whole screen.
Yeah.
I'll just go here. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Krishna, you went through the prompts to install, right?
Yeah.
Why are you showing Microsoft Store?
Okay, so what you need to do is, can you open up a Windows Explorer?
Or your Chrome, Krishna.
I need to see what you're doing. Can you
Krishna, share your screen.
I'm trying. It's connected.
It doesn't disconnect.
Yeah.
Okay. So go to your Windows Explorer. Yeah, you know what a Windows Explorer is? It's the from the bottom. It's the second, third, fourth icon with the folder. You know, it's the fourth.
The one with that one right there. Click on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one?
Yes, that's called the Windows Explorer, where you see the files, right? So here, click on at the top. You know the tabs. Click on View tab at the very top. Yeah. Go to Options on the right, very right.
All right.
Okay. Go to View. Click on View. No. You are right there. Options, View tab. Yeah. Scroll down. Scroll up a little bit. It should say. Scroll up. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit. Okay. See how it says hidden files and folders? Click on Show Hidden Files and click on Show Hidden Files, and also scroll up a little bit. Sorry, scroll down. Okay. See. Oh, sorry. Go up a little bit. Okay. See how it says hide extensions for known files? Uncheck that. Okay. Apply. Click OK. Okay, now open up the command prompt. Inia, can you on the bottom left, you see how Krishna is typing CMD? Can you type that in? And you should get the command prompt like this, black.
Python? Mine doesn't work like that.
Huh?
No, Abba, mine doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it should have a search box on the left.
Like how you join into Zoom.
Oh, okay. What do I type there?
You type CMD and hit enter.
CMD.
And hit return.
Okay.
Do you see the black screen, like this black window? Okay. So Krishna, can you type Python Python?
Do I type that too?
Yeah.
Press enter.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
on.
It works.
So you have Python too, okay, Krishna? Inia, you should have the same thing. Do you see this? It says Python. Can you share your screen?
Okay.
Yeah, type.
I typed Python and then I got this.
Oh, type phy. Type it in.
Here?
Yeah, the next line. Yes. You know how where the cursor is blinking? Type it in. Phy. No, phy. Not
Not THY, PHY.
You should.
actually. Sorry, Python. You correct. You spelled it correct. I think. Let me see. Can.
Python.
So any Vaishna, you go to your Finder and type terminal. Okay, terminal is the same thing as command prompt in the Windows.
I already have terminal open.
Okay, type in Python.
There's already all this stuff here. I don't know what to do now.
But when I
Are you on my account or your account?
My account.
Okay, so just type in Python or Python 3. Type Python 3. You should see Python 3 like this. Inya, type it again.
But it does not look that way. There's like all this clean up, clear SYS, restore SYS,
there's a bar.
and a bunch of system library stuff.
Okay. Hold on, let me come over there. So Krishna and Velon, you're good. Just hang on, okay?
Okay.
Go back in first.
When I typed that, it got like that.
Get it? You have to say.
Because you got PyCharm for me.
Yeah, Python and PyCharm. So.
Yeah, I don't know which one, but you saw.
Same as I did was safe.
And the lights off.
Yeah, Papa.
You run this downloads. Python.
do it to Chrome or is this Windows 10?
It's the Windows 10 this thing. But anyway, you don't need any right now. Just open this.
For me, PyCharm and Terminal are weird.
All different way though.
It doesn't work.
Just I'll tell you what to do, okay?
Terminal, there's like all this weird stuff on there.
Yeah, so you have this open.
Yeah, but like I can't edit that, and I don't know what to do with this. See? No control. Nothing works. Hell.
What is
We have to do another meeting. We're gonna die soon.
Did you open this thing by yourself or was it already there?
These things were already open. I can't do anything with it.
You just need to log out. Log back in.
Well, but then I have to leave the meet.
Does that mean everything?
I don't. Make yourself the new.
My dad's gonna be back. Why can't she do it?
Okay, guys.
Papa, mute it.
So Vaishna has some problems, so she will
Papa,
just.
mute it.
Vaishna has some problems, so she's going to share with Dinia. And so next thing, so now you have the Python runtime environment installed, okay, which means you can execute Python code, but now you need the editor to write code in it. So go to so can you let me share my screen. So go to type in PyCharm. Okay, in Google.
But do we type PyCharm too?
No, you don't need to do that. I already installed it for you. Okay, so you should see jetbrains.com PyCharm. Click on that link. Okay, now hit the download at the blue download, okay, not the black download but the blue download. Okay, now you should see two things, one is professional and the one is community. Okay, download the community one, click on download on the community. Okay, it should start downloading. For you it should be an exe. For me it's the DMG file for Mac. Is it downloading?
Do I open it once it's done?
Yeah, it's downloaded.
Yeah, it's downloaded.
Yeah, just open it up and can you share the screen? I want to see. Just share your whole screen so I know. Krishna, is everything okay for you?
What do I do? It says in the corner cookies and IP address in like a black area.
Where can you share screen?
How about you
Sure.
have to stop sharing?
Oh, there it is. It shows that.
You don't need
Oh,
to do
you
anything.
don't need that. You don't need that. So it should have started downloading, right?
Yeah.
Is it? It must be already
Yeah, I
downloaded.
finished downloading. Now this is what I have on my screen.
Krishna, can you stop sharing? I want to see what.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So click next. Click next. That's fine. Just click on that 64-bit launcher. Yeah, that's just going to create a shortcut on your desktop.
Yeah.
Okay, click next. Click next. That's fine. Install. Yeah. So Krishna,
Okay.
you should the downloaded file.
Yeah, I did the exact same.
Exact same thing. Okay, it should be progressing.
Yeah. Do we need to have CMD opened?
No, you can just close that. You don't need that. Okay. So Inia, you already have that PyCharm open, right? It's already installed for you.
Yeah. It
Okay.
just says welcome to PyCharm.
Yeah.
This is new project open and get from VCS.
Okay. So let me just install mine right now. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen so you guys know what I'm doing.
Pardon?
Opening punch.
Got a problem with that?
Or the BNS.
Let's copy.
Yeah, once it's done downloading on our screen, it says run Python community edition. Do we checkmark that and then click finish?
No, just uncheck it and just click finish. Just
Okay.
No, but go down. There.
so if did Krishna click on the create the desktop icon?
I think so. Do you have a desktop icon?
So on your desktop you should see PyCharm CE. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, just double click on that to open up the PyCharm.
It just for us it says PyCharm community, but it opened up.
Yeah.
We must JetBrains privacy policy confirm.
We have to agree to the user agreement, Krishna.
Yeah.
You're muted, by the way, Krishna.
Do I see data share? No. What do I do?
Do we do data sharing? Do we click don't send or send anonymous statistics?
Don't send.
Okay.
Where's Py? Oh, there's PyCharm.
Yeah. Okay, so you should see a screen like this, right? When you open it up,
Mm-hmm.
do you see it? All of
Yeah,
you?
we see it.
Yeah, you're on there. Okay, so click on new project. Click on that. Okay, so just give it a project name. Just give it hello world. Okay. Okay, that's just like whenever you're learning
That's the
something new,
location.
new program or whatever, you will always see examples called hello world. It's all it does. I'll show you. Okay, so just type in hello world, and rest of it just leave as is. Okay, you should see something like similar to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just say create.
I made one for Amy too.
Yeah, just
Okay.
just follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you'll see like tip of the day or whatever. Say don't show tips and just click close. Okay.
Oh, we don't have that.
Okay, that's fine. So now it should say creating virtual environment. Is it doing that?
Yeah, it's doing that.
It's finished for us.
Okay. So you should see this main.py
No.
file open.
Yeah.
See that?
Okay, you don't have it, that's fine. Just close it because you don't need it. Just click on that main py, right click on it.
We don't have a main
We don't have any
Yeah,
main.
you don't have it, but Krishna and Velon, you would have it, right?
We do have it, yeah.
Just click delete. Okay, right click on that file and click delete. Just click OK. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're gonna create our first Python code file. Okay, just right click on it, say new Python file. Do you see it?
Right click on the hello world.
Yeah, the project.
Okay.
Okay, and just give it a name. Say hello. It could be any name. Just
Where is new? Oh, new. File? Where's a file?
Yes, Python file.
Name it.
new Python. Okay, right click on this, say new Python file. Vaishna, you already did that?
Yeah, we're done. We're at the same place you are.
Krishna, new Python.
Here's a file.
Yeah.
Which one would I buy?
Anything.
Just give it a name, hello or something.
Papa, what's that?
VNV.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to delete that. That's the virtual environment. It's something, but you will learn about it later. But for now, just don't delete that.
Yeah. The same as that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
Krishna, you good? All
We
right.
do have a bed.
So now let's go back to what we talked about earlier about our function, and so we're going to create the very simple function. Okay, first this is what we're going to do. So the syntax is the is it means that it's how you write the Python code. Okay, so you're going to say def means you're creating a function or function definition. Okay, here you can give it any name. So def space
Hello?
you can say, yeah, hello. Okay, and you have to end it with a open bracket and close bracket like this.
How do you do that? Like that?
Yeah, and then you have to press colon at the end.
Space colon or just colon?
No, just colon.
Okay.
And press enter, and the enter should bring it to a new line, and it's tab separated. Okay,
Yeah.
so tabs are very important in Python. So after every colon enter, basically every function block, you have to have it indented. Okay, so we just created a function called hello. Okay, so basically this function block, so here instead of function name, it's called hello. Okay, that's basically what we did. And our input, we don't have any input right now, and we don't have any output.
Papa, what does the output lead to?
Yeah, so I'll show you what it is. So right now it doesn't have any input. So in order to specify inputs, you put inputs here. Let's say this hello function can have any number of inputs, okay, 0 or many inputs. Does that make sense? So right now we don't have anything in the brackets. That means we don't have any input, okay. So our first function is going to print out hello world to the console, okay. So I'll explain to you what console is. So just for now we're just going to call another function. This function is called print function, okay, which is already provided to us by Python, okay. Does that make sense? So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're creating a function, but remember I said here's a hello function. The function itself can have like it could call other functions, right? Make sense? So here I'm in our hello function, we're going to call another function that is provided to us by Python called print, and in here we're going to give an input, okay. The input we're going to say we're going to give it a string. This is called a string. String is basically a word, okay. So a string always starts with a quotation mark, like double quote, okay, and ends with a double quote, okay. So you got this? So you should have something like this, okay. So we created our first function called hello, which takes 0 inputs because we don't have anything in the brackets, and we are calling a function, another function called print, which is provided to us by Python. So if you hover over that print, right, you should see what it does. It says here, it says, do you see this? Krishna, Velon, Inya?
No, we don't see it. Oh wait, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it says prints the value to the stream or to syst standard out, blah blah blah, okay. So you don't need to know, but basically what it is telling us is that it's going to print this whatever the word that we gave it to this print function, it's going to print it to the console, okay. So I'm going to show you what the console is. So once you have this, right, so all we have done is we just created a definition. So that's what the def means. We just created a function, but we haven't called the function yet. Call means execute the function, okay. So all we have done is we just created this function block, okay. But now we need to somehow execute this function, okay. The way to execute it is pretty simple, okay. So you just type in that function name and the 2 brackets, because basically this exact signature, okay.
Put a light bulb.
Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, so now you go to, you should see if it's not already selected, main, okay.
Not like that.
Okay, just right click on the file like this area and say run hello.
Run. Okay.
You do that, then you should see this thing called, so this place here is called the console, and you should have your hello world printed here. Does it print for you?
Yeah.
Krishna? Good. So congratulations, you just wrote your first Python program that prints out hello world, okay. So now let's go back to our program. So I just want to show that this is our input, so we can put anything we want, right? Hello world, hello Python world, or something, okay. So now I just changed my program, this function. I'm still calling hello. So now if you hit the rerun hello, now it should print out whatever you typed in there, like whatever. If you changed it, it should print out whatever you changed.
No.
Does it do that?
Yeah.
Make it work.
Huh?
How do you make it run again?
What?
How do you make it run again?
See this? See this? The play button here.
Yeah.
Click that.
Okay, wait. Yeah.
It works, right? So all we have done right now is we created a very simple function that calls a built-in function in Python called print, which basically outputs some whatever that we give it into this console thingy. Okay, that's all we have done. Okay, so now let's look at something called expressions. Okay, so the simplest computer that you can think of is a calculator, right? You can think of the calculator as a simple simple computer. Okay, so here we're gonna create another function. Okay, um, let's say we create a function like this. Let's go back to our drawing board. Okay, I'm going to delete this stuff. I'm going to create a new function called add 10. Okay, so what this function is going to do is it's going to accept as an input a number. Okay, how do I make this arrow any better? So we're going to give an input a number, and we're going to name that number. We're going to give it a identifier for that number. Let's name it I for input. Okay, or we'll call it input. We'll just call it input. Okay. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to create a function called add 10 that's going to take an input called input. Okay, which is a number. We're going to pass a number to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're going to create another function. So in order to create another function, if you have already an existing function, you have to leave 2 spaces. Okay, like that's just a convention. 1, 2. Okay, so now you start typing in def. Remember, whenever you start creating a function, you always start with a def and you give it a name. So in this instance, we're going to call it add 10. Okay, functions cannot have any spaces. You cannot call it like this. Function cannot be cannot contain a space. Okay, and it always should start with a letter. It cannot start with a number. It cannot start with a number. So those are some of the rules. Okay, so you always have to have a meaningful name. So whenever you're naming a function, you have to give it a meaningful name. So here I'm just going to call it add 10, and it's going to take in an input called input. Okay, I'm just naming my input as input, but it could be anything. I can just name it as n or x or y, whatever I want, right? I could name it whatever I want. So in this instance, I'm going to call it input. Okay, and remember to press colon at the end of that bracket and hit enter. Okay, so in this case, what do you think this function is going to do based on the name add 10?
Add 10.
Add 10 to the input. Okay, okay, so the input that we get out, let me see if I can copy this. So Arjuna, did you meant to say add 10? Yeah,
No, I was gonna say that it was gonna add 10 more functions.
no, it's
Or
gonna
10 more inputs.
it's gonna take our input so we had input, so the output should be input plus 10. We're gonna add 10 to the input. Make sense? So how are we going to do this in coding?
I know.
So we're gonna say input plus 10. Okay, so it's actually going to add input plus 10. But here all it has done is it just added 10 to the input. Okay, so in the Python language, plus is called an operator. Okay, so there are many operators. The basic one is plus. You have minus. Okay, that's minus is minus. Multiplication is star. Okay, and the division is a backward slash. You know where the slash is? Krishna, you know where it is? Iniya, do you know where the slash is? That's for division. So here, this one is input divided by 10. So, but we named our function add 10, right? To make it simple. So we're gonna take the input and add 10. Okay. So all we have done here is we just added 10 to the input, but we haven't returned the function, or basically we haven't output that input plus 10 out of this function. So if we go back to the box here, inside this function we took the input and added 10 to it, but we somehow have to shove it out. Okay, we haven't done that yet. So in order to do that, how we do that is we put a keyword called return. Then what it'll do is it'll take that input and shove it out. Okay, that's what this function does. So it takes an input.
You put return, you put an I. You put M.
Okay, so far you guys with me? So apparently this input, the name input is a reserved name. So we just need to change it to something else. So we can call it, I'm going to call it I, okay? So I'm going to say I plus 10. Okay, you guys probably need to do that. Or if you named it something other than input, then you're okay. But if you named it input, just change it to I or whatever you want, okay? But as long, you just need to reference the same thing in the body of the function, okay? By the way, this part of the function is called the body. Basically, it's the inside of the function. This part is called the signature. Okay, signature is basically, it tells you what the function name is and what are the inputs and what are the out basically that's what it says. Okay, in Python at least. Okay, so now remember to call the function. You know how to call it, right? We know how to call a function, right? Just name and then brackets, right? So in our instance, we can call this add 10 function like this, add 10, and we can give it anything for I. Okay, we can basically substitute, we can pass an input. Okay, before we name the input as I, here we name the input as I, so we need to pass some value to I. So how we do that? Let's say I want to pass in 10. What do you think the output would be?
5.
20. Make sense? Krishna, does that make sense?
No.
Yes? No? Do you understand what we're doing?
So 10 is the input.
Krishna, he's asking you.
What? It'll be 20.
Yes. So what if I give 2?
Gonna be
30.
12.
4.
12. Yes, 30. See the function, it takes whatever as I, some value I, and it's going to add 10 to that value I. So here the I is 2. Okay. So so you guys have this now if you click run,
It doesn't show anything.
it doesn't show anything, right? The reason is add 10 just adds this and just gives it back, but it doesn't have the ability to do print it to the console.
Papa, but it keeps 10 lines.
Yes. So how do we output something to the console?
Print.
Print, exactly. So what we're going to do is, so basically you can imagine this block, this code,
Oh, I did it.
okay, as this function here. Okay, so what we need to do in order to print it is we take the whole thing and put it inside print. So basically we are saying is the input to the print is the output of add 10. Does that make sense? If you press now, you'll see 12. Does that make sense? Inia? Remember I said functions. Oh, I lost it. Okay. So functions can have other functions inside it, right?
Yeah.
Right? And you can take an output from one function and pass it as input to another function. Okay, and so on and so forth. That's the key concept here. Does that make sense? So what we have done here is we created a function called add10 that takes an input I, and what that function does is takes that I and adds 10s and puts it out. That basically returns it. Okay, so that's our function. In order to call that function, I called add10 and I passed an input of 2. In this case I passed 2. Okay, so the output of this would be 12, and in order to print that out I used another function. Remember that function, print, and I passed that output of that to print, so it printed 12. Okay, makes sense? Now I have this add 10. Now I can pass anything I want. Let's say add 3. What do you think the output would be? 13, right?
13.
So whatever, so basically that this I can pass anything for that I, but I can only pass one input at a time. Okay, I can pass 20, gives me an output of 30. Basically anything that I pass, it's going to add 10 to that. Okay, that's add 10. So now,
How if you put add 7? Then
yes.
I would add 7.
So let's create another function. Arjuna said let's create a function called add 7.
Wait, can we delete that add?
No, just keep it. Okay, keep everything. So we're going to create another function called add 7. Again, it's going to take, I'm going to name
You have
it.
to go 2 spaces or 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 spaces. Otherwise it's
Go
complete.
up one. Why? Because look where
That's just a
Jeff had 7. I put it at 9 until it was 9.
Can you use the same variables in between for the definitions?
yes. So
Okay.
this is not a variable, by the way. What is it's called the
Input.
yeah. So it's called the parameter. See how it says? If you however it says, it's the parameter to the function. So the inputs are called parameters. They're not technically variables. Okay, the inputs are called parameters.
What do parameters do?
Parameters are inputs to the function. Okay, so now I have two functions, add 10 and add 7. So let's say, for example, if I take the output of add, so instead of the 20, I'm gonna call my add 7 function and pass in 1 to it. Now what do you think the result of this execution would be?
8.
Well,
11.
No, add 8 plus add 17 or 18.
yes.
You add both.
Does that make sense, Arjuna? See, we have add 7 to 1, which will output 8, which goes as the input to add 10. So
18.
8 plus 10 is 18. So if you run it, it should say 18.
Yeah.
Run it over. Where does it say? It says 18.
Here.
Okay, there.
Oh.
You put 2 commas. Papa has 3 commas.
Add 7.
So what we've learned is the functions can be chained, basically.
No.
And input of one function is output of one function can be the input of another function, and so on and so forth. Okay, and there is no limitation on it. Does that make sense?
How does this 1 come into play?
Where no, 1 is the input for add 7. I can pass in anything. Let's say I pass in 3 to this. Okay, now what do you think the output would be? Like add 7, it's going to add 7 to 3.
20.
The 20.
Yes, you're right, Arjuna. So it's going to be 20. Okay,
Everyone's right.
So functions can be chained. That's what we learned, okay? And could have anything. So right now our functions are very simple. It's like you add 10 to it, you add 7 to it, or you print something, right? We can make it. So in our next class we're going to look at how we make a little bit elaborate functions.
That's tomorrow.
That basically has a bunch of more instructions inside the functions.
But that tomorrow.
Okay?
Does it automatically save, or do we have to save it?
It's automatically saves it. Right now it's saved in your local computer. So maybe even tomorrow we can look at how we save this our program into something called GitHub. Have you heard of GitHub?
I remember.
Yes, it's where all the open source software is basically hosted. Okay, so that once we put it there, we cannot lose it. And every time we change the file, like our source code, it'll keep a version of it. So we can always go back to our old version. So we don't have to worry about losing what we learned or losing what we wrote before. Okay. So this is a very simple thing. Krishna, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 hour is done. My throat is hurting. So let's continue this tomorrow. Okay, same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to elaborate on how to write more instructions into functions, and we're going to come up with more interesting functions. Okay. So just review what you've learned. Okay, functions, inputs and outputs, and functions can be chained. What that means is output of a function can be an input to another function, and so on and so forth. And there's no limitation on it. Okay, I can keep adding. Let's say I could add 10 again. If I do that, what do you think the output would be?
30.
30, right?
30 if I
It
change.
says 30 there.
30.
Okay, so that's the concept we learned. Okay, everybody understands what we learned? Any questions before we sign off?
Yeah.
All right, so review it on your own time, and we will meet again tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, bye guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.